Welcome back to the Geneva Netball Centre. Had a 20-minute recharge and now time for the under-23s round 8 competition between North Shore United and the UTS Sparks. The Sparks sitting pretty handsomely after 7 rounds of the under-23s competition. 6 wins and 1 defeat sees them on 12 points in second position, and they'll be looking to get things rolling early on as they try and continue to push themselves up the ladder. For North Shore United, it is a very different story. Just 1 win for them and 6 defeats from their 7 games. They're on 2 points, currently sitting 7th, only ahead of the Southland Stingrays, who are winless, and that is where their only win came in round 5, winning by 49 goals to 40. So really start there by the Sparks, and they open the scoring there through Hannah Victor. In fact, no, that is Abby Baker for the UTS Sparks. So a complete contrast to what we saw in the Opens competition, where UTS Sparks were winless at 0-7 against the 4-3 North Shore United, although that ended poorly for North Shore United, beaten by 58 goals to 44, as the UTS Sparks picked up their first win of the season. And they also here pick up their first goal of the evening as well. And so we're 1 goal apiece here in this first quarter. Just run through those sides quickly for you. For the North Shore United side, they line up like this evening. Bethany Fry in wing attack, Sally Guthrie at centre, Jamie Taylor goal defence, Annika Rudd in wing defence. The goal attack is Hannah Victor, the goalkeeper is Madison Ward, and the goal shooter is Ella Daniels. While for the UTS Sparks, Abby Baker at goal attack, Adrian Bogard at goalkeeper, Jessica Bowden is the wing defence, Claire McCrohan is the centre, Brooke Patterson is goal defence, Kaimani Schwenke is the goal shooter, and Chase Vassallo is the wing attack. So plenty of quality through both those sides, and they'll be looking to put their best foot forward here in this evening's game. 2 minutes gone in this first quarter, and it is North Shore United who were able to get on the board for the first time tonight. 1 goal apiece. A lot of pressure there on Baker, and the turnover here by North Shore United, so good physical defence there as Fry tries to thread the needle and the ball is parried away over out of play. From some way out, the ball deflected away off the rim, but it's collected there by the goal shooter in Ella Daniels. And she's got a nice little contingent of fans on that far side, grandstand side of the ground, or the grandstand side of the court. They're cheering on every move that the North Shore United side do well. Vassallo. Bowden. Lucky not to have been pinned for the 3 seconds there. It was certainly close. McCronan. Vassallo making some nice interlinking passes there, particularly with Abby Baker, the goal attack. Baker spins it across into the middle, and Kamani Schwenke is able to score her first goal. United and Sparks 2 goals apiece. So for this UTS Sparks side, even though their Opens side hasn't been setting the world on fire, though they did get their first win tonight, they have certainly been setting the world on fire in the under-23. 6 wins and 1 loss. They've got the best attack in the league with 393 goals, averaging 56 goals per game. Schwenke is able to finish off once more to make it 3 goals to 2. They did win their first 5 on the trot, the Sparks, before they were really brought back down to earth in round 6, losing 61-41 against the table-topping and undefeated GWS Giants. Certainly not the result they would have wanted, but they have been able to bounce back last week, winning 54-50 over the Central Coast Heart. And they'll be hoping to win again tonight, just to further stamp their authority and potentially move themselves into the top spot if results were to go their way. Julius Fury up against the Southern Stingrays as well in Court 1 action, so that'll be an interesting game to keep an eye on. Earlier in the Opens competition, as Schwenke uses her strength there and gets another goal to put the Sparks in front for the first time, on the second time this evening, leading by 4-3. In the Opens game, it was 58-44. Comprehensive win for the UTS Sparks against the North Shore United side. North Shore slipped to 4-4 in the year, while the UTS Sparks pick up their first win of season 2019. Good ball movement there. Schwenke uses his strength once again. Good body movement as well to be able to sink that goal. And already we're seeing the Sparks maybe not run away with it, but have a pretty handy advantage already, leading by 5-3 in this first quarter. The bounce pass finds its way forward to Baker, who now goes to Vassallo. Vassallo fires the ball into the middle of the court and combines well there with Ella Baker, who's had half of her position description ripped off at the back, but doesn't stop her from being able to find a goal. North Shore looking to keep themselves in the game by stretching this defensive line of this UTS Sparks side. Daniel's unable to finish that one off, and that is the kind of mistakes that you don't really want to have in the early stages of the game. Already a couple of missed opportunities that they've been able to fire on, although turnover here by North Shore will make things a little bit more comfortable. So lots of good defensive play by both these sides, plenty of deflections. We've seen probably half a dozen already tonight. Marked well in the centre there by Sally Guthrie for North Shore. In the semicircle they go. Find some chinks in the armour. Daniels fires the ball back to her goal attack in Hannah Victor. And Victor manages to find the net. An important goal there for North Shore United. 7.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Sparks leading by 6-4. Back into the middle. Really good movement there by Schwenke, and really good passing as well. So the Sparks proving their worth in these early stages. Playing some really good netball. It's been fast-paced by both sides. And attack and defence has been at the fore for the large majority of this first half of this first quarter. And North Shore won't go away. They get a goal back. 7-5. Vassallo forward to Baker. Throws the dummy for finding McCrowan. McCrowan goes back into the middle. And Baker is able to collect the scraps. And she's able to score. So we've had end-to-end stuff from both these sides. Oh, and it spins around. That was a good shot by Hannah Victor. She's had a couple of opportunities today and has been able to finish on at least the last couple of them, getting it back to 8-6. Sparks go forward through Baker. McCrowan is there as well. Vassallo back to McCrowan. The bounce pass into the semicircle, and then great use of the feet up front. Really nicely done by Kalmani Schwenke. And she's become a bit of a sharpshooter in these last couple of minutes, being really relied upon heavily by the Sparks, who lead by 9-6. Down court, we see the march, and Vassallo using her height and strength there to her advantage. Baker, back to Patterson, back to Baker. Goes well wide, and there to McCrowan. Baker to Vassallo. Vassallo holds the ball up and passes really well to Schwenke. And she just lofts that into the net rather comfortably. So the Sparks starting to enjoy a fair bit of dominance here in this final third, leading by 10 goals to 6. Baker back to McCrowan. Over the top there to Schwenke. And Schwenke's not going to miss out on that either. So back-to-back goals, and they're enjoying themselves at the moment. The UTS Sparks, and we can see quite evidently why they are 6-1 and sitting in second position on the ladder. Offensively, they've been very, very smart and very slick to start this game. Nice passage of passing there. And really well done there by Hannah Victor, who, despite playing goal attack, has actually scored the large majority of goals in this first quarter. Just got caught in transition a little bit there, North Shore United. Didn't have the amount of defenders back as they would have liked. North Shore hoping to create a defensive turnover, but UTS Sparks looking to add another goal to the tally, and that's exactly what they'll do. So Amy Baker, having scored the first goal, had gone on a bit of a dry spell, but is able to find the net there as it's deflected away by the Sparks, who defensively are throwing their bodies at absolutely everything. North Shore looking to stay within striking distance here. Knocked away. It's been picked up by Victor. Victor now goes forward to Ella Daniels, and Daniels again isn't able to convert with the shot. She's missed 3 or 4 there. She probably would want back and gets a chance here to make amends, and she does that. So she adds a goal to her tally, and North Shore United reduced the deficit back to 4 goals. Baker controlling possession well. Vassallo fires a pass there to Schwenke. It's like a bullet, and she skies this one into the net, looking very nonplussed, as most goal shooters do when they realise they've just completed an important aspect of their job. Bit of contact there in the middle of the court. You see North Shore retain possession. So Ella Daniels with back-to-back goals for her tally sheet. Sparks leading by 13 goals to 9. Some of those other games that are going on at the other courts, the Hawks leading the Panthers 11 goals to 8, and the Sapphires leading the Heart by 9 goals to 8. As we'll see a nice little turnover here for North Shore United. This is what they need more of. They can get a couple of these and score a couple of goals in succession. They might just be able to get their noses back in this one. Down by 4. Frankie doing her best to try and be a defensive warhorse there for her side, but actually creates the infringement. Goes forward here to Ella Daniels, and Daniels is able to convert. So there's a bit of a rusty start by Daniels, but she scored 3 goals in succession and seems to have her confidence. This is what they want, and Daniels has an opportunity to further bite away and nip away at this lead, and she does that. So that scored them 4 goals to 1 in the last couple of minutes, and North Shore United are flying. Sparks still lead, but it's only by 13 goals to 11. Did lead by as much as 4 goals at one stage, and North Shore create another turnover. So nervousness maybe just creeping in, and a little bit of fatigue in this first quarter. Well marked there by Sally Guthrie. Goes back to Ella Daniels. Daniels goes across to Hannah Victor, and Victor is able to score as well. So North Shore United really pulling themselves back into this one with only 90 seconds left in this first quarter, trailing by 13 goals to 12. Victor, Guthrie, over the top. She goes to Bethany Fry, back to Victor, looking for Ella Daniels in support. There was a fair bit of tension from the UTS Sparks defenders on that occasion. And Ella Daniels, some way out, goes across to Hannah Victor, but it's going to come back, and she takes a couple of steps forward via the infringement and scores. So all of a sudden, in the space of 90 seconds, a 4-goal deficit has been ripped up from under the UTS Sparks, and it's 13 goals apiece. So a very exciting game we've got going on here. Baker loops the ball over the top to Schwenke, a little bit too far out. She goes back to McCrowan. Schwenke again, good use of the feet, and is able to score to restore parity and give the Sparks the lead back with just over 30 seconds remaining. Smith Taylor, in fact, that was, not Smith, pardon me. Daniel, some way out. Bounces away off the rim. Turnover there. Well, what we thought was a turnover, but the North Shore defender, or the UTS defender, had actually gone out of play. Goes back, and it's intercepted there by North Shore United, or by the UTS Sparks, pardon me, but it goes back via North Shore United. And the last play of the quarter, not a fruitful one, unfortunately, for North Shore United, but concerned they were trailing by, at one stage, 4 goals. They'll be very pleased to have got themselves back in the game at quarter time here in round 8 of the under-23's competition. It is the Sparks leading North Shore United by 14 goals to 13. Join us in a couple of minutes for all the action of the second quarter. So here we are in the second quarter. Sparks leading North Shore United by 14 goals to 13. And it will be the Sparks that will start with possession as they move the ball down court, looking for that short little bounce pass. Vassallo, who was actively involved in the first half, who was a little bit quiet, fires a nice ball forward there to Kaimani Schwenke, who was able to score. has been end-to-end stuff. Neither side has really been able to have the momentum, although I guess you would say that the UTS Sparks had the large majority of it in that first quarter, but certainly got reefed away from them, and you kind of feel they'll both just feel each other's out in these first 5 minutes. Inside the semicircle goes Baker, still a fair way away from goal, and she's able to sink it beautifully. Really well-timed shot considering the attention of the North Shore United defenders. Victor goes down the court and finds Bethany Fry, who's been heavily involved. Carried away. Plenty of hard defensive work, and then really well recovered by the Sparks, and they're able to finish off in the end there by Karmani Schwenke. So a smallish crowd here, but certainly making plenty of noise as they support both their two sides. It's always great to see plenty of people coming through the gates here of the Genea Netball Centre, or Netball Central as it's commonly referred to here in Sydney Olympic Park. Wonderful facilities, not just for netball here, but there's a couple of basketball courts. Obviously we have the 4 courts that the 8 teams are playing on. We're here at the show court, which is the most well suited in terms of grandstand capabilities, but 3 other really good courts, as well as some other basketball courts at the northern end of the centre here, the Genea Netball Centre. Fry, Guthrie. And we'll get to march forward another half a step. Daniels, Fry once more. Now we see Victor with the ball. Goes forward to Ella Daniels. She's got a couple of defenders nipping at her, but that doesn't deter her. It's a really nice finish. And she's got her shooting boots on now after a bit of a tentative and slow start to this game. And, well, the quarter began 14 goals to 13. It stayed that way. The Sparks leading by 18 goals to 17. 11.5 minutes left in this second quarter. And then Schwenke tried to get the turnover, but it wasn't to be. And so North Shore United are able to transition from defence into attack and maybe, just maybe, tie things up, which we've seen them do once already in this match. Goes forward to Guthrie. Well-timed pass to Ella Daniels, who reached for it and just couldn't quite get the necessary power on it, but it comes back after Bogart's attention, and Daniels scores again. So we're all locked up here in the second quarter here at the Genea Netball Centre. 18 goals all between North Shore United and the UTS Sparks. Push forward to Fry. Victor getting heavily involved as well. I think she's been one of the more impressive players for North Shore in this game. Not just her shooting ability and setting up her players, but as we see United take the lead for the first time today through Ella Daniels. But the fact that she's tracking back, I guess, into that more of a midfield position, for lack of a better word, and being able to distribute some of those passes to her attacking players. Schwenke is able to score and tie things up once more. So 5 minutes gone in this quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. North Shore United 19 goals, and it's 19 goals for the UTS Sparks. Here is Victor. And Victor gets United back in front, so they may be in very different parts of the ladder with their performances, with UTS 6 wins out of 7 and North Shore 1 out of 7, but that has not been translated onto the court at the moment, as North Shore United have all the confidence in the world, as a looping pass over there to Fry does well to control it. Goes forward to Ella Daniels, across to Victor. Victor now goes to the side to Ella Daniels, and Daniels slots this one. So North Shore United, who trailed by 4 goals at one stage in that first quarter, have now opened up a 2-goal lead, so a 6-goal turnaround. Confidence is brimming, although that will hurt them there. Not the passage of play they would have wanted, as Bethany Fry could not get her hands, or Sally Guthrie, sorry, could not get her hands on that one. Marching down the field through Vassallo, the Sparks. Baker bounces away after rim and recovered by United once more. They've created all kinds of turnovers, but a really wayward pass made it hard there on Madison Ward. So it's become a real battle. I guess on paper, looking at this game, it had the possibility that it could be a bit of a blowout, considering what we saw in the previous game. Although that went against normal trends with a 14-goal win to the side that hadn't won a game all season. And Schwenke was able to pull one back for the Sparks. 21 goals to 20, a substitution, well, a few substitutions coming on. So some fresh legs being brought on by this UTS Sparks side as they try and reinvigorate themselves. Schwenke controls it well and uses their body and sinks the net. So the Sparks are back level now. 8 minutes left in this second quarter, 21 goals apiece. Nothing separating these two sides. That was a bit of contact there on Guthrie. That's what the referee has called. Daniels looking to get the noses in front. She does that. She's been really impressive of late. Both defences of these two sides have been impressive tonight, but at the moment it's the attack of both those said sides that is coming to the fore. Baker with a nice couple of moves there, but the ball is coughed up. It's going to come back though, and possession will be reinstated to the Sparks. Across there to Baker. Can she finish? It's a tough little angle, but it's a really good finish. Off balance, leaning back. No such issues there for Abby Baker. And it's a tied ball game. Guthrie. Fry. Forward there to Victor, but it's going to come back here to the wing attack. Fry. Victor. Guthrie. Fry again. Knocked away from Ella Daniels. But Daniels will take a couple of swift movements and then sink the ball into the net and score again. A contingent of North Shore United fans are really enjoying what they're seeing from the team at the moment. Coming into this game with just one win, a goal difference of -81. And some uninspiring performances, but it's knocked away again. And the atmosphere now is really starting to pick up every time North Shore United are able to score a goal or create a turnover or do something good. There is raucous applause from the other side of the court here, and that's sure to be bolstering this North Shore United side as Ella Daniels picks up the scraps and finishes again, and North Shore get the lead back out to 2 goals, 24 goals to 22. No doubt energising this side. Anytime you play sport, fatigue obviously becomes an issue as a misguided pass here, but sometimes when you've got people cheering you on, it's almost like you're not feeling tired at all. Almost turned away, but will bounce out of play. And this defence, this high-pressing defence from North Shore United, putting all sorts of pressure now on the Sparks, who now have a misguided pass, and they're starting to lose their bundle a little bit. The wheel's starting to fall off the second place side as they look for that miracle pass. Victor. And Victor with a nice goal. So North Shore United are tightening the screws now. Trailed by 4 goals in that first quarter. They now lead by 3. McCrowan goes in to the centre with Baker. Back to McCrowan. Baker gets her hands on the ball again. Vassallo. And Schwenke, who's been kept quiet, he was able to score a goal and pull one back for the Sparks. She's only been kept quiet, not through any great defensive marking or anything, taking nothing away from North Shore United. It's been just purely due to the fact that the ball hasn't made it up that end of the court, so that's probably a pretty good strategy. And Victor is able to score, so the lead back out to 3 goals. 4 minutes left in this second quarter. Tapped away. North Shore have it once more. This is an impressive defensive display by the side sitting in 7th position. They're playing like a team possessed. Down court they go to Victor. Holds up the ball. Fry goes into Ella Daniels. Takes a couple of shuffling steps and is able to score again. North Shore United running riot at the moment. 27 goals to 23. They trail by 1 heading into this second quarter. And they are firing on all cylinders. Victor keeps the ball in brilliantly. Back to Ella Daniels. Goes back to Victor. And Victor is the one that is going to be given possession. And she's able to score as well. Well, it is a red, blue and yellow tidal wave that is sweeping this UTS Sparks side here at the GA Netball Centre. They are really out of sorts at the moment, trailing by 5 goals. Vassallo, back to Baker. Almost turned over again. That defence has been aggressive and working well in this second quarter, but they do manage to pull one back here, the Sparks. 2.5 minutes left in this second quarter. And they trail by 28 goals to 24. Intercepted there by the Sparks. That's what they needed. Needing support. Vassallo. McCrowan. Vassallo once more. Goes forward to the centre of McCrowan, who's everywhere. Goes jumping catch there made by Abby Baker. And Baker's able to score. So a couple of goals in succession. Just as weathering the storm a little bit here for the UTS Sparks. And they'll get the ball back again. Baker. Can the defence of North Shore hold out? Will we see yet another goal? Forward they go to Schwenke. Baker. This one is going to be coming back inside the semicircle. So a goal scoring opportunity here for Baker. And that one is going to go against UTS. So the ball coughed up. North Shore have possession through Guthrie. Fry. Victor. Over the top. All sorts of hands on shirts and shoulders and that kind of stuff. So contact is the call against the UTS side. Fry. Daniels. Guthrie. Really good passing. Victor. Well, she was a little bit far out, but she gets a couple of steps in and sinks this one. So under 90 seconds left in this second quarter. A frantic quarter it's been. But North Shore United now leading by 29 goals to 25. Could potentially go out by 5. Taylor, it's a poor pass. Easily intercepted. Baker now has the ball in the middle of the court. McCrowan. Vassallo. Now goes forward to Schwenke. And Schwenke is able to score. So she just steadies the ship a little bit. Deficit back within 3. 45 seconds left in this quarter. And left in this half for that matter. And the Sparks have another goal scoring opportunity. McCrowan limps it up and it's knocked away. Great work by Taylor. Downfield they go to Fry. Victor forward there to Taylor. And to Daniel, sorry. But it was just a little bit too high. It was a little bit panicky there by North Shore. Probably didn't need to do that. I'd want that one back if they could get it. Just under 20 seconds left in the quarter. Is there one last goal scoring opportunity here for the UTS side? It's parried away. They will get the ball back. The UTS bench not happy that the clock time wasn't stopped there, even though the ball was out of play. And that's going to be the end of the second quarter. An inspiring quarter by North Shore United. They trailed by 1 goal heading into the start of the second quarter. They now lead at the half by 3 goals. They lead by 29 goals to 26. Some really good defensive play in that second quarter. And obviously their offense was brimming with confidence. And there was a period in that quarter where the sparks really fell away and North Shore United duly took advantage. They lead by 29 goals to 26 at halftime. We're going to take a 7 or 8 minute break with the halftime interval upon us here at the GM Netball Centre in round 8 of the New South Wales Netball Premier League under-23s. It is North Shore United 29 goals leading the UTS Sparks 26. We'll catch you shortly. Here we are about to start play in the third quarter. This has been a tantalising and exciting contest between North Shore United and the UTS Sparks. Nice interception there by the Sparks to start play. They trail by 3 goals, 29 goals to 26. Defence has been really good from both these two sides. Lots of turnovers, interceptions in that second quarter. Shrinky is able to use that upper body strength of hers to find the goal for the first time at the start of this third quarter. 29 goals, plays 27. And they retain possession. Now we see Guthrie with the ball. Fry. Good defence here by the Sparks again. Getting in really good positions, closing down, just, pressing upon those attacking players of North Shore United who haven't made that great of a start to this third quarter. McCrowan. Nice interlinking passes here. Guthrie gets her hands to it and they're able to force a turnover. Taylor was the eventual player that managed to come up with it. Rudd. Oh, it's a long pass downfield. Looked like a Hail Mary attempt, something that you see in American football these days, but didn't find its right partner on that occasion. So, bit of a sloppy start here by North Shore, who still lead by 29 goals to 27. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter. McCrowan feeds the ball forward and she's taken that one out of play. Has Kaimani Schwenke. And unfortunately, Posmore Taylor was not able to reel that one in. So hasn't been a whole lot of goals to speak about in this third quarter. But a lot of interceptions, a lot of deflections by the defensive teams. And Schwenke is able to score. So the deficit down to 1 goal now. 2 goals for her in this third quarter. Quick ball movement here by North Shore. Guthrie over the top here to Victor. They've been quiet and they finally get their first goal, North Shore. It's taken 3.5 minutes, but they get it and they restore parity, leading by 2 goals. Schwenke is able to continue her rich vein of form. A really tantalising game between these two sides as they really are in a combat battle at the moment. North Shore United looking for their second win of the season. $30 goals all of a sudden we're all tied up. Schwenke again using good upper body strength there to fend off the attention of the goalkeeper from the North Shore side, Madison Ward. And the Sparks have the lead back, so they trail by 3 heading into this third quarter, but it's been all UTS at the start of this third quarter, so the instructions at halftime have certainly worked, and they create another defensive turnover here, another good interception. And the Sparks are on fire at the moment. Can't put a foot wrong. Fire the ball forward for Salo. And across, it's not the greatest pass, but it was comfortably taken by Schwenke, and Schwenke is able to score again, so they've outscored them 6-1 in this quarter, and that is a worrying sign for the North Shore United side. Little periods like this where if you concede 6 or 7 goals on the bounce, can really reef the game away from you and pull the rug from under you as well. Twiddle O'Donnell in goal attacks, playing well. And Schwenke is able to score once more. So they are having their way with the North Shore United side at the moment. Timeout has been called. A couple of substitutions and fresh legs coming on for North Shore United. 33-30. Fed for by Vassallo. O'Donnell. Schwenke. And this should be another easy pickings, and it is. She's not going to miss from there. And the Sparks are running right. 34-30. Still 9 minutes left in this third quarter. So plenty of netball to be played. And they'll start with possession, UTS. Before they go, it gets coughed up. It was well collected there, but it might almost be won back by UTS. It will. There is no one in the backfield at all, but the call is going to come back, fortunately for North Shore United. Almost intercepted as they go forward there through Taylor, Edwards, Johnson, back to Edwards. Ella Daniels goes back to Johnson, deflected away, but it will be North Shore's possession. Victor goes across to Daniels. And they finally get one back. They needed that North Shore United. That just stems the bleeding a little bit. Just their second goal of the quarter. They need a bit more of that as they trail 34-31. Not a good pass. Had Ella Daniels really stretching for it and wasn't able to reel that pass in. Plenty of chat coming from that UTS bench. There was some pretty fervent instructions at half-time. Nothing too aggressive, but obviously trying to pinpoint where some of those issues had arisen in the second quarter, where they lost their bundle a little bit and ended up giving up a 1-goal lead and having a 3-goal deficit. Contact on the arm there will mean Schwenke will get the easiest of shots here, and she doesn't miss out on those. She's been pinpoint accurate. There's much praise as you want to give for her positional play and the strength she uses when she's on the ball. Her accuracy and goal shooting has been very, very good as well. And she'll score another one here. So this game is starting to be pulled out of the grasp of North Shore United now. They trail by 5 goals, and you kind of get the feeling that the Sparks are really in the mood to just take this one and get the 2 competition points, or as they collect another interception here, and the transition from defence to an attack extremely quick, as they are creating spaces and running in triangles pretty much all over the court. Well, looped over to Schwenke, who was in lots of free space, and she scores. And this is starting to get a bit ugly. Sparks out by 6 goals. Still 6.5 left in this third quarter. Vassallo. Now we see Tweedle O'Donnell didn't get the shot she desired, didn't get the elevation. She wins it back by the rebound, and this time she's able to score. And after just 2 goals in this quarter, they're going to make even more changes now, almost resembling an ice hockey game where you see the benches clear and one whole side come off and another side come on. That is what's happening at the moment. And North Shore United, having made that substitution, are able to immediately score a goal, 38-32, but they need to try and find something within the reserves here, defensively be able to create some turnovers, and you just kind of get the feeling that fatigue is playing a bit of a factor now for this North Shore side. Lots of running and jumping around the court in that second quarter defensively, and they have just taken, knocked a bit of the stuffing out of them. Edwards, Victor, Johnson, back to Edwards, back to Johnson. So good passing down the court here by United. Victor needs support, has to go all the way back. And that really just imploded in their face. There was no options, and it was great defensive play and great marking by the Sparks. UTS. McCrowan up there all alone in that goal shooter position was Karmani Schwenke. An 8-goal buffer, 40 goals to 32. This has not been the quarter that North Shore United desired. They led by 3. They now trail by 9. A turnover of 12 goals that has gone via the advantage of the UTS Sparks. A little bit lackluster, a little bit off their game that second quarter. After they led by a goal heading in for the second quarter at the end of the first quarter. And now they lead by 9 goals with only 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter. A lead like this, a 9-goal lead or even more. You could almost put the marker through the North Shore side if that was still the case at the start, or at least the first few minutes of the final quarter. So they need to try and create something defensively, and they almost did there with a rare miss shot there by Schwenke. McCrowan, and Schwenke is able to keep her feet in, but the rebounding ball is collected by North Shore. This is better play by them. Perhaps a bit of confidence coming from that defensive turnover. The ball, unfortunately, is now going in the way of the UTS Sparks, and having all sorts of problems. This North Shore side trying to keep their head above water. Although UTS with a rare infringement sees them cough up possession in that final third. Johnson. Victor. Johnson. Fires a ball across the middle of the court, and they are able to get their 33rd goal of the afternoon, or of the evening, pardon me. 2.5 minutes remaining, an 8-goal deficit. Is there a few more twists and turns in these final couple of minutes of what has been a quarter absolutely dominated by this UTS Sparks outfit? It was 33 goals to 30. It's three-quarter time. Oh, sorry, at half-time, pardon me. So it's been 11 goals to the Sparks. And only 3 to United. North Shore trying to set up camp inside the possession, or inside the territory of the Sparks. And North Shore pull another one back. So where there's life, there's hope. The deficit back down to 7 goals. Fired forward into the circle. Good interchanging of passing. And this one bobbles around on the rim and falls its way into the net. And so North Shore United are fighting themselves back. Down by 6 goals now, which makes things just a little more interesting heading in to this final quarter. And Schwenke was able to keep her feet in, drop the ball back to O'Donnell. And O'Donnell is able to score as they consolidate and hold on to the lead. But whatever the Sparks can do, I'm sure United say we can do it just as well. And they get a really nice finish at the back end of some good passing down the court. Edwards breaks down for Victor, back to Johnson. A bit of a pause. Johnson goes back to Victor, across to Johnson. Oh, that's a really good goal. Balancing on the feet, trying to keep your feet in play. And then being able to score. So those substitutions and those fresh legs have worked out well, as Taylor does well to control this. 50 seconds left in the quarter, 42 goals to 37, but North Shore are coming, and they're coming very, very quickly, throwing bodies forward. It's a bit of a lackluster pass, though. One of those 1 in 100 type plays that we see in all kinds of sports that has a chance of coming off, but is a low percentage play. Vassallo. Cross over the top there. It goes. And it will be finished off comfortably there by Karmani Shvenki, who's been kept a little bit quiet the last couple of minutes. So only 8 seconds remaining. One last opportunity. Goes forward to Shvenki. Can't control it as it balloons off the hands and goes over the baseline. And that will be the end of the third quarter. It was a quarter absolutely dominated by the UTS Sparks, although North Shore United have kept themselves in the game with a couple of late goals and a bit of a flurry of scoring. And at the 3-quarter time break, it is the UTS Sparks 43 goals, leading North Shore United 37. We'll take a couple of minutes to catch our breaths, and you can join us in 3 or 4 minutes' time for all the action of the final quarter here in round 8 of the Under-23's competition between the UTS Sparks and North Shore United, with the Sparks up by 43 goals to 37. Here we are about to start play in the final quarter. What is going to happen? Are the Sparks going to be able to hold on to the 6-goal advantage? Or will North Shore United be able to create an avalanche of points and potentially cause a boil-over and get their second win of the season? They've done well for a large majority of this game. North Shore United, they lost their way in that first 8 to 10 minutes of that third quarter, and that unfortunately may be their downfall. They need to score first here and then try and create some turnovers defensively and try and get a flurry of goals. Across the court goes to Victor. Victor looking for a bit of support in that final third. They'll get a second bite of the cherry here, though. Quick passing inside that semicircle. Victor, who's played in goal attack for most of the game. But that was collected there by North Shore. And North Shore able to score, so that's what they wanted. So straight away, they're able to pull another goal back. 5-goal deficit at the moment. And Schwenke just too strong, too powerful there. And a nice finish as well. Gets a lead back to 6 goals. Thanks to everyone that has tuned in, not just for this game, but also the Opens game earlier this evening. Jack Clifton is my name, so hope you have enjoyed the coverage tonight. Despite it being a bit of a blowout in that first game, a 14-goal win for the UTS Sparks to get their first win of the season over the 4-4, or now 4-4 North Shore United side. There was lots of quality play from both sides, and just like we've seen here, North Shore United keeping their noses in the game, but the Sparks desperate to try and hammer a nail into the coffin and try and put this game to bed, as we've had 2 minutes in this final quarter. 13 minutes remaining. From some way out, it's a fairly weak shot by O'Donnell. The ball is kept in play by, well, we thought it initially was kept in play by the Sparks, but it will be possession to North Shore United. That's what they need more of. Defensively, they'll set up really well in that passage of play just to try and block Karmani Schwenke. Johnson goes forward now to Edwards. Loops a pass over the top, but that one is going to go against North Shore. They didn't want that. Look at this crisp ball movement from the Sparks. Really good stuff. And they know that the clock is their friend at the moment, as well as obviously scoring goals. They know if they can occupy possession for 20 or 30 seconds each time they have the ball in hand, it's going to make things very, very difficult for North Shore. 45 goals to 39. The Sparks, maybe not quite on the verge of their 7th win of the season, but they can no doubt feel it with 11 and a half minutes left in this game. North Shore won't go away. They get their 40th goal of the evening. And the margin back to 5 goals. Vassallo. Back to Vassallo once more. McCruan. Goes forward to O'Donnell, but infringement has been called against the UTS Sparks. Quick ball movement by North Shore as they try and find some chinks in the armour. O'Brien goes forward to Johnson. Leaping pass taken by Edwards. Now Victor. Victor has to go all the way back, but it is going to not matter in the end because the ball will be given back to the Sparks. So a couple of turnovers by North Shore is really hurting them at the moment. Lots of encouragement being added from this Sparks bench. They've been vocal for the most part here this evening. They know that another 3 or 4 good minutes of quality netball here will win the game for the Sparks, but that certainly wasn't that there. As that possession is handed back here to North Shore. Victor back to Edwards. Edwards goes now to Johnson. Edwards. A looping pass and intercepted. Not the pass that needed to be made. That's 3 times that I can count on one hand that they've been in that final third attacking wise and have coughed up possession and given it back to the Sparks. And when you're down by 5 goals, you can't afford to be doing that. So some substitution. As we see, Ella Daniels coming on in that goal attack position. So fresh legs again. Maybe one last roll of the dice. Goal converted by United. Back to 5. 9.5 minutes remaining. Time not quite the enemy of North Shore United yet, but it will be in the next few minutes if they can't resolve this 5-goal deficit. O'Donnell turns possession over. And nice work there by Ella Daniels. She gets her first goal since coming back onto the court. 46 plays 42. Cracking game of netball, a real advertisement for the Netball New South Wales Premier League, particularly the Under-23's competition, which in the 4 weeks that I've been doing it. And another fantastic finish by Daniels from well out. And we're back to a three-goal ball game. And all of a sudden, the North Shore fans on the far side have found their voice again. Good work by Schwenke to use her body and control it well. And she creeps the ball into the net. And that just steadies the ship a little bit for the UTS Sparks. 47 goals to 43. Edwards. But they pull another one back. So I'm saying, this is my 4th week doing the Netball New South Wales Premier League, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But the Under-23's competition has certainly thrown up some excellent games since I've been here. And it's a real advertisement, not just to the 23s, but the Opens, but to this whole Netball New South Wales division. As O'Donnell just had the ball knocked out of her grasp. And Schwenke will be able to send this one home, and the lead is back out to 4 goals. 48 goals to 44. Kept in there by Edwards. Twinkle toes on there to make sure she stepped along the sideline there. And then the North Shore United side have again been able to score. So they won't go away. They are nipping at the heels here of the Sparks. 48 goals to 45. O'Donnell. McCrowan, a long pass across the court, fired across the middle to Schwenke, and Schwenke is able to restore that advantage. So neither side's defence have been able to get a turnover in these last probably 2 or 3 minutes, and it's just been end-to-end stuff. This time we do see a turnover, though it's going to go against the Sparks. The ball will be handed back now to North Shore, and they score again. So 6.5 minutes remaining. Still anyone's ball game, this one. Sparks leading 49 over North Shore United 46. Defensively here, North Shore set up, trying to get 2 bodies on every player. Obviously that's impossible when you look at the numerical advantage, but at least trying to mark up on the more danger players of the Sparks. Goes forward to O'Donnell, goes across court to Schwenke. And Schwenke scores and also brings up the half century for the Sparks. So the Sparks lead by 4 goals now, 50 goals to 46. Down court they go to Daniels. And there's a bit of a delay as an infringement is called upon the Sparks. And again, United got the other end of the court and able to score. So it's probably been 5 or 6 goals each in these last 4 or 5 minutes as the ball bubbles around, and North Shore have got possession back. That's what they wanted. Can they use it? Fired down court. Johnson. All hands on deck now by this UTS Sparks side. Daniels pops the ball across into the centre, and Daniels creeps that one into the net. It bobbled over the rim, and now we have a two-goal ball game in our hands. North Shore United, well, they look done for in the 3rd quarter. They trailed by 8 goals. Edwards forward to Ella Daniels. And Daniels, a shot bounces away off the back of the rim. But they will get the ball back, thankfully, despite that poor first attempt by the goal attack, Ella Daniels. And third time lucky there for North Shore, and they're back within one inside the final 5 minutes. Plenty of movement on the North Shore bench, and certainly some nervous feelings for the UTS Sparks, who over the last couple of minutes have just lost their spark, although they hold on to possession briefly and they give it to their star shooter in Schwenke, and Schwenke is able to get the lead back out to 2 goals. 4.5 remaining. Time is quickly becoming the enemy here of this North Shore United side. Johnson, forward, fires a ball across the middle of the court. And half century brought up by North Shore United, and more importantly, they get back within a goal. No room for error for either side at the moment. They know how huge this could be. Schwenke falls down, just lost her footing a little bit. And knocked away by North Shore United. They can't get their hands on the netball though, and is eventually bobbled out. And North Shore United will get the ball back. And there is a few slumped shoulders and slumped heads on the side of the UTS Sparks. Down court they go. Johnson needs options, can't find it. He has to go back to Thorpe. They go down court once more here to Ella Daniels. Knocked out of play. And now the ball is being able to be sunk in by United, who are level with 3.5 remaining. And the bench absolutely loves it. An opportunity for North Shore United to potentially take the lead back. No, they can't, as it's turned over. And the UTS Sparks find themselves with the ball. All sorts of cheering as they're working their backsides off defensively here, North Shore. Well, they've somehow got a turnover there, which they probably didn't deserve, and it's going to be called back anyway. The ball just seemed to kind of fall into the hands of the defender. Well, UTS Sparks, they are desperately trying to get back in front, and they do. They steer the ship there through Kamani Schwenke, 52 goals to 51. 2:45 remaining, and then the ball will be retained here by UTS. A goal here, a 2-goal advantage inside the final 2.5 minutes. Wouldn't be the end of the game, but would certainly lay a platform to win this one. Vassallo fires the ball into the middle. It's now with McCrowan. McCrowan goes across there to Kaimani Schwenke, and Schwenke is able to score. That is huge, and now they need something special to North Shore. The clock will be stopped at 2:14. Certainly a mountain to be climbed here by the 7th place outfit, down by 2 goals. No room for error. Fired in there to Edwards. Goes across, and they get one back. That's what they needed. 2 minutes remaining, 53 goals to 52. The Sparks over United in the other games. Blockbuster on court 3. It's the Sapphires 45 goals over the Heart 44. And on court 2, the Erna Hawks are going to win their one. They lead the Panthers 56 goals to 43. But here, inside the final 2 minutes, the UTS Sparks looking to put this game to bed. Schwenke scores and restores that 2-goal parity. 90 seconds remaining. It's now or never now for these North Shore United side as they march themselves down court. Across they go to Johnson. Some appeals there by Patterson, the goalkeeper, saying she hadn't done anything wrong, and she was the one that ended up on the deck. But it falls on deaf ears. The umpire lets United continue, and they're able to get a goal. 1:10 remaining, 54 goals to 53. Down court, knocked away and almost kept in by O'Brien. It was a good defensive play by the goal defender. Couldn't quite keep her hands on the ball. Inside the final minute, a goal here might just put the game to bed. O'Donnell some way out and bounces it in. It's a cool, calm and collected finish by the goal attack. And now time is the enemy for the North Shore United side. Only 40 seconds remaining. Down by 2. Johnson fires a pass into the circle. And they get one back. But only 30 seconds remaining. They need to try and get a turnover. And, well, time of possession just as important for the UTS Sparks, and they'll get the ball back. They've created a turnover. Less than 20 seconds to go. They fire through Johnson. Edwards needs support. Goes back to O'Brien. To Johnson, the centre. 10 seconds remaining. It's picked up by... and has been sunk in with 5 seconds to go. United may have just salvaged a draw out of here. 2 seconds remaining. There's not going to be enough time, I don't think, for them to salvage anything from it. Though they will salvage a draw. They've come back and, well, North Shore are celebrating like they've won the game. And unfortunately for the UTS Sparks, they look very, very forlorn. They had an 8-goal lead in the third quarter at one stage, and they'd had leads of upwards of 5 goals and 6 goals at stages in this final quarter. But really, North Shore United played like a team possessed in those final 5 or 6 minutes. And in the end of an entertaining contest in the under-23s, round 8 of the Netball New South Wales Premier League, it has finished North Shore United 55 goals, the UTS Sparks 55 goals. Earlier tonight in the Opens that started at 7 p.m, we saw a win for the UTS Sparks, 58 goals to 44 over North Shore United. That was the UTS Sparks' first win of the season, having started the season with 7 consecutive defeats. So at the moment, they moved themselves to 2 competition points. In regards to this game, the Sparks and North Shore United finishing at 55 goals all after a flurry of points at the back end, or flurry of goals, pardon me, at the back end of the game by North Shore United was enough for them to get over the line. In regards to what is happening next week, round 9 of the competition. At 7 p.m, we'll have the under-23s action that we'll bring you on the show court, which will be the Erna Hawks against the Sutherland Stingrays. So we're taking place at 7 o'clock for the under-23s, and the Opens will be at 8:40 also, the Erna Hawks against the Sutherland Stingrays. So 2 cracking games we brought to you there, and Brittany Carter will be back in the commentary chair to bring you all the action there. It's been a pleasure to bring you not only the action tonight, but the last 4 weeks. A big thanks to the Bar TV crew. They've done a wonderful job with the production and all the camera work tonight that you've been seeing. Your commentator Jack Clifton, I'll be signing off, and make sure you tune in from 7 p.m. next week for more action in the Netball New South Wales Premier League. In the under-23s that finished, North Shore United 55, the UTS Sparks 55, while in the Opens the UTS Sparks got their first win of the season with a 58 goal to 44 victory for their first of season 2019. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.